As Lori said, my name is Andrew Ladd. I have a number of different roles, but one of the roles that I fulfill for Whole Foods Market Dublin is local products purveyor. Because Dublin is the largest of the 6 Ohio Whole Foods markets, many of the other stores, we kind of set the mark, and then the other stores will choose to follow or not, basically. So a lot of what I do can bring a company into 1 store, Dublin, or up to 6 stores, even up to 9 stores simultaneously, really depending on what the product is, whether it fits a niche that the other stores currently don't have filled, whether they have space because they're all smaller than the Dublin store, etc. We're always looking for good local. Local is expanding faster than anything else in Whole Foods Market right now. 5 to 7 years ago, I could be given that same topic about organic. Organic was expanding faster than anything else right now. Organic still represents a large portion of our sales. It's one of the things that separates Whole Foods Market from most of our competitors. In fact, we actually are going to be re-organic certified in about 2.5 weeks, which is one of my other roles, is good organics law, essentially, making sure that we're living up to all that. But local is the fastest growing category. Between 2008 and 2009, the Dublin store actually increased our local sales by 18%. 18% might not sound like a crazy amount, but I mean, consider that our store has close to $1 million weeks. We're selling $700,000, $800,000 a week. Certainly during the holidays, we're having $1 million weeks. So if you increase 18% of sales by a category, in this case, things from Ohio and surrounding states, it's pretty significant money getting back into the Ohio economy. The region actually went from 2008, I just got this email a couple days ago, roughly about 150 local vendors to, in 2009, over 400 local vendors. And of course, local is going to be defined differently throughout the region. So what is local for Ohio is not local for Maryland, and vice versa. I didn't realize this was really a presentation thing. I thought this was a question and answer thing, so I didn't prepare much else. I would say that because I am at the Dublin store, I have the ability to work with vendors that are at all different levels. Folks will come to me with an idea, and I may be able to help them flesh out that idea. A lot of other folks will come with a finished product that's already for sale at competitors, or we even have some Columbus companies that have sales in Germany and New Mexico, but they're barely recognizable in Columbus. And so it doesn't much matter where you are in that process. You can still approach Whole Foods Market, and we'll be able to have that discussion and see if we can help you along that process. I would say that 2 of the biggest hurdles that, maybe 3 of the biggest hurdles that I've found with working with local vendors is basically label laws would be number 1. Understanding what the USDA and the FDA require on a label. Some of the smaller grocery stores around town, you really can knock on the door, talk with the manager. They're going to taste your product, they either like it or they don't, and it either goes on the shelf or they don't. Whole Foods Market is a publicly traded company. We're a Fortune 500 company. We just can't do that. You know what I mean? So everything has to have a UPC. Everything has to have nutrition facts. Everything has to make sure that you are in fact a business. I just was approached by someone yesterday that didn't know what a W-9 was or how they go about becoming an LLC. So I tried to hook them up with, someone else, but getting over those hurdles of what actually needs to be on a label. Distribution is probably the next biggest thing. A lot of folks, it'll make sense that they might be able to sell to the 2 Columbus stores, but not necessarily the Cincinnati stores or the Cleveland stores or the Pittsburgh or the Louisville, or even expand that beyond that to the whole country potentially. And we've actually worked with a local distributor. They're headquartered out of Indianapolis. They have distribution kind of near Mansfield. They're called Cato Foods. And we've established a very mutually beneficial relationship for us, for Cato, and for the potential food producer where you can basically go from 1 or 2 stores to 9 stores pretty fast. It's kind of a mini region we call the frontier region with distribution through Kaido. Now, of course, all 9 stores have to want to buy your product, but there's that distribution possibility there. And we mostly, honestly, set it up for produce because we found lots and lots of vendors that, could supply the Cleveland stores, but not Cincinnati, et cetera, et cetera. And in particular, a lot of the Amish in the Northeast, they just had no way of getting it to our stores. So at this point, on our behalf, really, Kaido's driving around the state, picking up stuff. And of course, there's a charge for that, but it can all be worked out as to, the math has to work out, basically, for everyone involved. And then the last hurdle I would say is that I see a lot of folks out there that are maybe making the jump from like selling online or selling to specialty shops or selling at farmers markets, and they're really accustomed to kind of being the end seller. And so they're accustomed to getting a certain price point. And by the time you have distribution and you add a retailer on top of that, it's almost a given that what you're getting at a farmer's market is not what you're going to be getting from selling it to Whole Foods or Hills or Kroger's or whomever you're approaching to sell to. And I'm always kind of surprised when a vendor is surprised by that. But it's all overcomable,